Peace and blessings, everybody. Peace and blessings. This is BroYosef. I'm back with another video. And in this video here, I just want to simply encourage people. I'm encouraged to encourage y'all today. And the reason why I'm doing this video today is because I get a lot of people who, they get discouraged in the spiritual path, right? And we've all been there, for those who've been in a spiritual path for a long time, you feel like you're not making results. You feel like you're not, you're not achieving the goals that you set out for yourself. And I just wanted to do this video to encourage you guys, let you guys know at one point in our growth, we're just humans trying to realize, right? And we're going to do a video in the future about realization, because the realization is a level of enlightenment once you realize something. And that's what's going to happen in your growth, right? That's going to happen in your spiritual growth. You're going to come to the point where you're going to realize things about yourself, about what you're capable of, about what you're able to do. And this is why I put up the pictures to show you guys what's possible, right? To let you guys know I'm not just talking, but for me, I had to get it out the mud, right? I had to get it out the mud. I had to go through blood, sweat, and tears. And I'm giving y'all a shortcut so y'all don't got to go through a lot of the things I went through earlier in my walk, right? So I want y'all to, and I'm going to share with you guys some experiences, one of my wife's experiences. I tried to get her on the video and surprise y'all today and get her to share one of her experiences of when she started to actually activate, right? That's one of the words I use as you grow to different levels. I call it activations. And when she had one of her activations and she met her, an aspect of her higher self, right? Two aspects of her higher self, right? And I'm going to explain that in this video to you guys. So, because she was at the same level at one time too. She woke up in 2011, and really started taking the spiritual thing serious and been going hard ever since. And she felt the same way too, that she wasn't achieving things and, she wasn't doing the work and, things might have not been working out. But so I want to encourage y'all, when I started out on my path, I was lost. I didn't have teachers. A lot of these people that people see on the TV today, Bobby Hemmett and these guys, they had a few videos out, but I didn't really start looking at Bobby Hemmett videos or like people like Phil Valentine until or Delbert Blair, which was one of my favorite people to watch. I didn't start looking at their videos until more like 2010, 2009, right? So yeah, I say about 2010, I started watching their videos and like, wow, these guys are really interesting, and for all of us, a lot of us thought Bobby Hemmett was crazy when we first, heard him dropping the science. But as we grew to understand who we were and understand by reading knowledge and information, we understood that Bobby Hemmett was on point about a lot of things he say. Not just him, but Phil Valentine, and also Delbert Blair, right? Those are my three favorite guys to watch on YouTube. Still are to this day, So, I didn't have those things when I first started out. So for me, I had to trust the spirit, right? I had to believe that the voices that I was hearing in my head was telling me the truth and that my heart wasn't going to lead me wrong. Even though the Bible says that the heart is utterly deceitful, above all things, who can know it? That's not true. I don't believe that. The heart is what I trusted in and what led me to the level to where I am today. I had nothing else to trust, right? So I went by what my heart was telling me. So when I had my family members in the background and friends telling me I was wrong and I was going to hell and I shouldn't be doing this metaphysical stuff, my heart was telling me to keep going. I had this burning desire in my heart to keep searching and keep seeking knowledge and information. And I had no teacher. I had nobody to talk to, no consultations. It's a lot of spiritual teachers out there today. But in 2007, there wasn't a lot of spiritual teachers out there. You know what I'm saying? YouTube I don't think they hit the scene until 2007. So this is the age I'm at. I want y'all to really understand. So I didn't have a lot of teachers and people to really show me the way. I just had to trust my, so I was in books, right? And I was never a book reader. But when I became metaphysical, as I started growing, I started reading books because this stuff was interesting to me. So I didn't read books every day, right? Some days life happened. I would go a day maybe a day or 2 days without reading a book. That was the longest I went though, because I was always trying to gather information. And that's how it was when I started out. And as I grew and went more, I started reading books every day, no matter what. I was actually put in a position where I had a job at the time, and the job I had allowed me to sit there for 8 hours and get paid good money just to sit there, and I was able to read books. So I think the Spirit set that up for me so I can grow. And I ended up meeting a lot of good people doing that job at the time. And I was just able to sit there and read books and write notes and grow and study and watch videos. And, so I want y'all to be encouraged, because you may not be able to read your books every day. Don't feel bad, right? Nobody's expecting perfection from this thing, right? This is not a perfection thing. But what is to be expected is that you evolve, you grow, you continue to push. You don't go months and months and months without doing things, right? You continue to push, you continue to grow, you continue to evolve. So also, it came to a point where I stopped reading. I would just not just read books, but I would also practice what was in the books, right? I would practice what was in the books. And, I'm being honest, I wasn't practicing every day, right? So I don't want y'all to feel hard on y'all, be hard on yourself and feel bad when you're not able to practice every day. You're not able to, do a ritual or do your altar work that you're trying to do. And I know some people don't like that word work, but it is work, because you're growing. You only grow through by giving up something, by giving up energy. So whenever you give up energy, it's considered work. You're giving up something for something else. So it's an energy transfer there, but it takes work to do it, right? So if it wasn't work, then everybody would do it. If it was easy, everybody. If something is not work, then everybody would do it, right? But a lot of these things we do are work, and being that they're at work, it's going to require that we sacrifice sometimes, sacrifice time with friends, sacrifice time with family, right? I had to do all that stuff, right? To the point where I felt really lonely. Right? I felt like I had no friends. I felt like I had no, my family wasn't really pumping with me at the time. Everyone thought I was crazy out of my mind. So I know what it's like to be alone in this journey. And I just want to encourage y'all to let y'all know it's okay, right? You're going to be lonely at times, you're going to feel like you're wasting time. That's another thing. The ego really fought me. The ego really challenged me, because it used to try to make me feel like I was wasting my time, right? It was trying to make me feel like I was wasting my time. I'm the child of a God of war, right? My higher self is a God of war, and I was put down here to be a spiritual warrior, right? And I've been told to do some things that I can't even talk about on this video, but whatever my higher self tells me to do, that's what I'm doing. That's why I do these videos, because I want to help people learn how to fight the forces that are not good for them themselves, and help them grow. So I'm put down to be a spiritual warrior. Because of that, everything that comes to me, I have to fight for it, right? All my life I had to fight for everything. I had to fight for my spirituality. Everything tried to fight me. At one point I had to fight for my marriage, right? At one point I had to fight to stay alive, right? When I was born, I had a horrible asthma attack and almost died. I almost got abducted 2 times in my life. I remember being a child, walking to school. My mother had me at 15, so she was a really young mother, So I remember being a young boy walking home from school, and this man pulled up in his car, and had them famous glasses. Every time they do sketches, those guys, they call them rapist shades. He had the rapist shades on, and he pulled up in his long brown car. I don't remember what kind of car it was. It might have been an Oldsmobile. And I was walking to school, and he saw my name on the back of my book bag. My mother told me to take that name tag off. And I didn't know that. I was a kid. I was like 6 years old. So he walked to me. He said, "Hey, Joseph, how you doing? Get in the car. Your mom wants you to get in the car with me." So I was going to get in the car, and I thought about it. And my mom gave me a code word. She said, "Look, don't get in the car with nobody unless they know the code word. I don't care how much they tell you to get in the car. Don't get in the car with them." So back then, my code word was dinosaur, because I love dinosaurs. I loved archaeology. Even as a kid, I loved digging up stuff. So I was into all that type of stuff. I wasn't actually doing it, but I was love watching it. I love reading about it as a child. I was really into dinosaurs, ancient stuff. So, I had a dinosaur book bag and my name was on it. So he said, Joseph, get in the car, Then he said, didn't your mom tell you to be obedient? When an adult tells you something, get in the car so I could take you home. Your mom sent me to pick you up. And I'm like, thought that was where I said, well, what's the password since my mom sent you? And he's like, oh, she didn't give me a password. Hurry up and get in the car now. And I'm like, I can't get in the car with you unless I know the password. So this man tried to abduct me when I was 6 years old. And he pulled off. I never forget, he pulled off. And then one day when I was walking home from school, once again, I think I might have been the first time I was in kindergarten. I was like 5 or 6 or something. I don't know. And the second time I had to be like in 3rd grade. And I was walking home and it's a blizzard outside, right? I live in upstate New York, so there's a blizzard outside. And I'm walking home, and my house is literally half a mile down the street. So it wasn't that far from school. So I walked from school. And my mother would wait at the corner for me. But this specific day, when she walked up to the corner of the street, she could barely see me because it was a blizzard outside. So I had to walk up, up the street, and she couldn't see me coming. So I get halfway to the house, and this guy literally takes my hat and snatches it off my head. And he runs into like this bar. There's a bar there. And it's like the side door that goes upstairs, like up these stairs. So I'm sitting there in a freezing cold blizzard, like covering my ears, looking like, who just snatched my hat? Where'd my hat go? And my first thought was to run home, before my ears get too cold. So I'm walking, and my hat gets snapped off my head, and I look to the left, and there's this tall guy. He's standing in the door. And I remember he was freakishly tall. Like, he was tall, really tall, like maybe like 6'7" or something like that. He says, I'll never forget, y'all. He called my name. And this time I had no book bag on. I didn't have my book bag that day. I didn't have my name tag. And he said, hey, Joseph, come with me. You want your hat back? Come with me. Come up the stairs with me. I'll give you your hat back. And I remember for the first time in my life, I heard a voice in my ear tell me to run. I heard something whisper in my ear say, run. And I remember I started running, and I heard him yelling. I remember what he was yelling, but he was really, really angry that I ran away from him. Right? That man probably could have killed me or something, as a young child, and I wouldn't have been here talking to y'all today. So, from earlier in my life, I always had to fight for what I wanted in life. Nothing ever came to me easy, right? Finances, money, love, friends, everything in my life I had to fight for. And I used to always that's actually why I was depressed a lot younger. One of the reasons why I was depressed, because I always wondered why everything was so hard for me. But until I got into metaphysics, I started realizing that I was special, right? Especially when I got into numerology and I started doing my numerology charts and I started reading up on pomology. I showed y'all the pomology picture with the marks on the hand. There's other marks I could talk about too on the body. That's very important. But I don't want to get off topic here. So, I showed y'all the mark and that mark there simply means that, you mastered something in the past life, something spiritual. And you're just here to remember and do it again. So that's another encouragement thing for y'all, for the people that feel like, you're wasting your time and, you're not where you want to be. You already have the mark. You don't got nothing. You have no reason putting it there. It came down here with you when you were born, right? You didn't put it in your hand. The higher forces put it in your hand. And the hands are very spiritual. There's a lot of things that tell you about a person who read palms. Some people can read palms so good until they can tell you everything that's going to happen. They can tell how many children you're going to have just from looking at your hands. Your hands tell a whole story, right? This is why you're in the astral plane. If you want to become more conscious, and this is a big secret, if you want to become more conscious, open your hands and look at your hands, and I promise you'll wake up in your dreams. So for me, with the pomology, what happened was I was walking one day. This had to be in like 2014, 2013. I was walking one day to the store. I worked at this place, and it was a store across the street. So as I walked across the street, there was this white lady walking around. She had the whole shit on her head, the gypsy thing on her head, and she was walking around like, I saw her running around talking to people. So as soon as I'm near her, she's like, sir, can I ask you? I was like, oh, this lady about asking for some money. But she's like, hey, can I do a reading for you? And I'm into metaphysics at the time. I was like, oh, what kind of reading? Like a tarot reading? She said, no, I read palms. And I said, okay, how much is it? So She's like, oh yeah, it's and when she said it, she started talking. I put out my hands and I said, well, here's my hands. And she says, she started looking and she puts her head back. She says, wow. She says, you even have the mark in your hand. I said, what do you mean the mark? And she showed me that X. She's like, you got a bunch of them. You got a ton of them. She said, let me tell you something. Whatever you feel like you need to, whatever path you feel you need to take in life, trust that, because that's exactly the path you need to be taking. Trust yourself, trust your higher instincts. She's like, young man, you're already a master. Don't let anybody ever convince you of nothing different. You're a born master. And I was like, what? I said, that's really interesting. I said, you can tell that from looking at my hand. I heard about pomology, but I didn't understand the marks. She says, yes, you have this and you have that. She's like, I've never seen such a hand so full of power. She's like, you're going to be a very powerful person as you get older. You're going to be very powerful. You're going to be leading people. You're going to be doing that. I was like, whoa, I'm looking at my hands like, seriously? So she's like, she's like, I'm not even going to charge you. She said, it was a pleasure just to look at your hands and just see hands like that. I've never came across a set of hands like that. And I was like, whoa. I was just blown away by what she was saying because, I'm thinking myself just an average guy. And she said I had really ancient marks and my soul was really, she started telling me all this stuff, so, and that's what happened with me with pomology. So that got me into pomology. I started studying it since like 2013. I was like really into it, started buying books. I don't remember exactly what books I have on it. I would just tell y'all, study every book you can on pomology, because after you read certain books, they all say the same thing anyway. But it's a good thing to learn about and read about, so you can study yourself and know yourself. So I know people want books and stuff, but look, man, I have so many books, y'all. I can't even remember half of the books that I have. Like, I know I have at least 3 or 4 pomology books, but I don't remember the names of them. And I keep one bookshelf in my office, and I got other bookshelves other places, but I don't remember the name of that book. I don't remember the name of that book, y'all. Sorry. So just get any pomology book. I mean, that's what I pretty much did. Just went and got pomology books. And, study and research it. See what y'all can find out about yourself. So that's what happened to me with the pomology. But yeah, like I was saying, y'all, everything I had to do with my life. And I'm just opening it up to y'all. I'm just talking to y'all. You know what I'm saying? I hope y'all enjoying this. I'm just talking to y'all. But everything I had to do, I had to get it out the mud, man. To this day, right? Well, not so much to this day, not because I've learned the secret about who I am. I learned the science about who I am. I've learned that it's okay for me to learn things from the ground up. That's really what the universe and my higher self was trying to teach me. That everything we're going to give you, you're going to learn it from the bottom up. So if I want to be rich or learn about money, I'm going to have to learn about investing. I'm going to learn what money is, all the esoteric ideas of money. I'm going to have to get it out in the mud. When some person and I know people like this personally, who are going to just meet a millionaire, and the millionaire is going to share the secrets with them, and they're going to become wealthy. They're going to get money, right? Some people just get lucky like that. They get blessed like that. That's in their path. But for me, I got to get it out the mud. And what happens is I found out that in the long run, I'm further ahead than that person who was just giving it to. So for all of you who felt like you had to fight in your life for everything you want, I want y'all to understand it's okay, right? Because the reason why the universe is being hard on you is because it expects more of you. So it needs you to learn how to be responsible. It needs you to learn from the ground up about what is what and how to deal with it from the bottom level all the way to the top, right? All the way to the top. So there's a lot of things right now in my life I'm learning, and I have no teachers on it, right? Outside of spirituality that I'm learning, and I'm learning it from the ground up. So when it came to spirituality, I had no teachers for years. I had nobody showing me anything. I had to get it out the mud, y'all. Through the pain, the suffering, people calling me crazy, telling me what to do. I didn't know how to deal with all that stuff, but I dealt with it. I got it out the mud, right? My metaphysical level started from the ground up. And in the long run, 12 years later, I was a lot further ahead than when I found other metaphysical people who I met. They were like, wow, you're really advanced, in so short of a time. And I think it's because I got a good foundation of metaphysics. So this is why I do the videos on the basics for y'all, because I want y'all to get it from the ground up. I want y'all to understand everything from a basic level. And then in the future, we can go more advanced. Because like I always said, when I started this YouTube channel, I was actually going to just start dropping Kabbalah science and the science of Sufism and start breaking it down on y'all. Just giving y'all just giving y'all all the secrets and the knowledge. And then the spirit spoke to me one night and said, no, there's a lot of babies out there that needs the basics on magic, the basics on spirituality, and you need to teach them the basics. So that's why I do what I do. I'm trying to teach y'all the basics. So I want to encourage y'all, man, don't get frustrated. Don't get down, right? And understand no matter how high you get up, new level, new devil. In every new level you go to, you're going to have a new devil. That's a new adversary, a new problem. That's how it goes, right? Be encouraged. Don't get down. Understand that if you want to get to the point where you want to activate chakras, you want to talk to the wind, you want to do all this incredible spiritual stuff, it is very possible. And it's a lot of things I wish I could show y'all, but I know it's certain things I can't show on YouTube because it'll be people knocking at my door, and I ain't trying to have that, right? So I give little bits of information and little pictures and stuff to show y'all what I was able to accomplish, right? And I think it's important that I show y'all that type of stuff to let y'all know I'm not, just out here playing around, and I have achieved a certain level of spirituality, right? So another thing I want to encourage y'all with to do, right, is I want y'all to get a spiritual name, right? I want y'all to separate yourself from y'all humanity. It is very imperative that you separate yourself from your humanity, because your humanity is the thing that is fighting you every day, right? So one of the ways I suggest that you do, like I call myself BroYosef. Some people ask me, why do I call myself Yusuf? Well, my real name, my first name is Joseph, right? And we know English is a backslide language. So saying the word Joseph is actually a lower vibratory tonal language to say the actual word. So if I want to say the word in its true form, I would say Yusef, Y-U-S-E-F, or Yosef, right? Because in linguistics, the vowels are interchangeable, right? So all I pretty much want to do was keep the O there and just change the J to a Y. So it will be in a higher tonal language. So instead of calling myself Joseph, I'm Yosef. Yosef, right? And then, I could have called myself the guru, grandmaster, whatever. I could have did that. But I wanted people to understand that my personality, I'm your brother, right? I know there's some people out there that call me teacher and master. I'm not really with that, but I don't stop people from calling me that because it's how people feel, right? And I'm grateful to help people. But I'm your brother, right? I'm BroYosef. That's all I am. I'm BroYosef. And I'm grateful for the ones that I have taught, the ones that are seeking knowledge and seeking more light. I'm grateful because I want to teach y'all. I want to show y'all. Keep watching my videos, right? But I'm your brother. I'm BroYosef. I'm BroYosef. So give yourself a spiritual name, something that relates to you. If you want to call yourself Mr. Grandmaster or Sister Grandmaster, whatever, that's fine, right? Nothing wrong with that. As long as it relates to who you are, right? And who you feel like you are inside of yourself. You can call yourself Sekhman, you can call yourself Isis, Osiris, call yourself Tahuti, call yourself whatever you want. As long as it correlates and resonates with you, right? So give yourself a name that separates you from your humanity, right? Give yourself a name and let that name, whatever it is, be your spiritual name. Let it speak to your higher self. People ask me all the time, well, why do you talk to yourself in third person? I don't mean to do that. I don't try to do that. It just comes out that way. And when people get to a certain level spiritually or consciously, they'll understand that, sometimes you have to be in your ego, right? To survive. You can't survive down here without your ego. And then sometimes you'll be in your higher self. So when I'm around my family, I have to go to a family function or a family event. I bring myself down to my lower self. I don't like being there. But I have to keep my conscious level on that level or it'll totally bore me. I'll be sitting around family sleeping. I'll be telling my wife I'm ready to go, right? All that stuff will be happening. So I have to play the game while I'm down here in order to survive, right? We got to go to work. We got to be a dad. We got to be a father. Being a father is an aspect of the ego, right? Because that's a human thing on one level. I'm talking about being a physical father. That's a human thing. You can be a spiritual father also. But the title father is a responsibility, right? So you got to bring yourself down to a certain conscious level to just deal with regular human stuff. So in order to do that, in order to help yourself evolve and grow, I recommend y'all getting a spiritual name. It is very important, very imperative that you do that, right? Very important, very imperative that you do that. So that's what I recommend y'all. I want to encourage y'all. Don't get down. Don't beat yourself up. Keep doing the work. Keep practicing. And some people may ask, well, what should I practice? Well, I've said it in many videos what you should practice. I've given y'all tons of books. Montauk Chia, energy work. You should be doing your altar work, right? Working with your altars. And you should be connecting yourself and creating a relationship with you and a higher force, a deity, any deity of your choosing, of your liking, because you're connected to that deity for a specific reason. You need to be doing that, connecting to that, so that you can have a relationship on different levels with different things. Very important, y'all. So separate yourself from your humanity. Do your altar work. Work with a deity so that you can create a relationship with it. And do your energy work. Right? If you do these things, not every day, because we humans, we got lives, I understand. But if you do these things, and when you do them hard, right? It's like when you go to the gym and you know you ain't been in the gym for a minute, you go hard when you get in the gym. Then you need to do the same thing with the spirituality. If you do 5 minutes of work a day, which is cool, 5 minutes of working with mudras or 5 minutes of meditation, then you know when you get back, you got to do 10, 15 minutes. You got to go a little bit harder. You know what I'm saying? If you keep doing these things, what's going to happen is you're going to be just notice things when they are changing. Reality is shifting. Things are different. Like for me, one of the first things spiritually that I can remember, the first thing I started hearing voices, I will actually hear my higher self talking to me. And it sounded like me. And then the voice changed to an echo. Like one word would say, then would echo. And then the voice started sounding totally different. That's when I knew it had a lot to do with my state of consciousness, right? And then the second thing I remember that happened that was really big for me was I started seeing energy in 2012. I was able to see energy. And the first place I was able to see was around trees in nature. I'll never forget that. Squirrels and stuff, nature. I was actually able to see the aura and the energy body of these things. That's like the first real thing I know is like, oh my God, I made progress. I can see something. I can, something has changed in my reality. I'm more aware now. Because I can see not just the tree, but the energy of the tree. So I have more awareness now, or more consciousness, right? And for some of y'all, it may be something different that may activate. But keep doing the work, y'all. Stay encouraged. Keep doing the work. Be strong. And I promise y'all will grow. The universe will be satisfied with you. And you may have to come back to this planet. You can get off this planet and go into other dimensions and other realms of existence and have a good time. Right? That's the whole key, right? To get out of here. You get out of this hell state. So I hope this video encouraged y'all. Because that's what I try to do in this video. To let y'all know it's okay. Nobody's expecting perfection. Just keep doing the work. Right? Keep doing the work. If you don't work with your altars for a whole week, cool. Start it up again. Go with it. Don't beat yourself up about it. All right? So I love y'all, family. Keep doing what y'all doing. I hope this video encouraged y'all. Until the next time. Peace, family.